Yeah. Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Blue Juice TV. Listen, y'all, it is time to get into some things. It's a whole lot of been going on. So let's talk about the culture and its selective outrage, selective empathy, selective morals. Woo! Selective. And every time the internet needs a villain, let's just go ahead and say it. Every time they need a villain, ding ding, y'all already know where we're going. It's Nicki Minaj. Her name is the very first name that comes up every time. And so I just want to get into some things. Like, let's talk about it. Okay, so as you all know, Nicki Minaj made an appearance at Turning Point's Amfest. And basically, Nicki Minaj stood on the stage and reminded the generations of something very simple, but powerful. Thinking for yourself. Now, I'm reading this because I've seen this on a post, and it just stood out to me. They put, thinking for yourself should never be a taboo. It should never be taboo. She speaks about a world where having a different opinion feels dangerous, where young people are told to stay quiet instead of thinking out loud, and she refuses that future. Now, watching, the Turning Point interview, that was a real thing. Like, back in the day, I remember where everybody had different opinions, and people were a part of different parties, but there was still love there. To be honest, I don't stand with Nicki as far as it comes to the whole Republican thing and Trump and all of JD Vance. Heck no. I do not stand with that at all. But when I think about the past, like my grandma, she was a Republican for my whole life. She's a Christian, conservative. She loved God down. And so she went with the party that was best for her values. But she felt like she leaned more too. Because I'm sure, both parties are going to have some things that aren't the greatest things on each side. But you got to choose the party that is best for where you're trying to go. And my granny always did that because Republicans, they stood for more of the things that she stood for as a Christian. But back then, it wasn't a thing where people were unfriending people because of who they decided to vote for. Like, of course, you may have been disappointed, but you got over it and you lived a life. But people are literally unfriending people. People are just all kinds of things. And I get it. Some people feel like Trump is just the worst of the worst. I felt that way. Deporting all these poor families and kids and all of that. But when you think about it, like, all of that is devastating. Like, it's horrible. And to this day, again, please, I do not stand with anything that Donald Trump has done. It's horrible. But when you think about it, that's the thing that's horrible to a lot of us. We see that. But Biden, when he was in and he was Democrat, there was things that he did that were horrible to other people. And just because something is horrible to you in this moment, that doesn't mean that other things that other people have done wasn't horrible to them. And so, I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to say, like, I think you shouldn't just throw away people because of who they vote for. This world it really is becoming a place where you can't have your own opinion. Like, let's speak about what Nicki said about boys should be boys. Like, she literally never said anything transphobic, anything homophobic. She was basically saying, they were talking about Newsom, who was trying to, basically stating that he wants to see trans kids. And Nicki basically was saying that boys should be boys and girls should be girls. Let them be little kids. Biology. They're born a boy, born a girl. Let them be that. And if they want to grow up, if they're gay, that's fine. And if they want to grow up and then transition and do all of the surgeries, all of the things, then great. But I think she was just saying they should just be children. You should just be worried about them being healthy children. And they went ahead and flipped that whole thing around and called that lady transphobic, homophobic. And it's really scary because you can't have no opinions anymore at all before everybody crucifies you. And I kind of miss the world where you could have opinions. without being canceled. But thankfully, you know, she's Nicki Minaj and she won't be canceled, even though a lot of people online are trying to say that they're canceling her. It's not going to happen. They have tried to cancel that lady 50 million, 11 times, and she's still here. Still one of the biggest rappers out right now. You can't get rid of her. Long live the queen. Anyways, let me get into what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Nicki Minaj, the MAGA, and the fake shock, the fake outrage. Now, here's the question everybody is screaming, but nobody can answer. What did Nicki actually say wrong? She showed up, she spoke, she didn't disrespect anyone. And yet suddenly, there's think pieces, the timeline is on fire. It's just total chaos online. And meanwhile, you have people like NBA YoungBoy who literally thanked Trump for a pardon. And there was absolute crickets. Absolute crickets. Mike Tyson praised Donald Trump. Crickets. A plethora of other artists showed support to Donald Trump. Heck, Jay-Z and Beyonce just recently put together an event. And they were at the same table. It was allegedly, this is Jay-Z's event, and they were at a table with Ivanka Trump and several other people that y'all, air quotes, supposedly don't like and don't support. But again, crickets. Nobody cared about them. And then you have this Z-list influencer who I just keep seeing all over. I had to include her because she's plastered everywhere. Like, I don't know if she's just constantly talking about this or people just keep sharing the same thing. But it looks like it's different stories in different times. Tammy Rivera, Waka Flocka's ex-girlfriend or wife, I don't know what she was to him. She pointed out and said, you know, gave her thoughts on what she thought about Nicki Minaj. But again, it's like this lady just be waiting for everything Nicki Minaj does. Her and everybody else, I guess. You know, it's just like they be waiting for it because anybody else can say the same things that Nicki says and you'll never hear nothing about it. But let Nicki Minaj just simply cough. She could simply cough and the world is in an uproar. It's really crazy and it's sickening and it just doesn't make any sense. I kind of understand why Nicki... Now, she said, people don't know this, but Nicki has been a Republican for years. She even has a song where she says that she's a Republican. And people are just outraged and they think this is a new thing that she's just doing. But no, she's been a Republican for a long time.
I'm a Republican voting for Mitt Romney. You lazy bitches is fucking up the economy.
But if y'all want to say that she's doing this on purpose because she feels like the black community has let her down, which they have, then if that was what she was doing, I wouldn't even blame her. Because our own people can be a trip sometimes. And I ain't even speaking about no music industry. I'm just talking about in life. Growing up in school, your very own people put you down more than anybody. And I've sat here and watched them do that to Nicki Minaj. Call her a cokehead, crackhead, talk about her son. Her little boy. This is a kid. They went in on him. Like, it's ridiculous. And I don't blame her. If we're going off of that scenario and she chose to go to that side for that reason, I wouldn't blame her not one bit. But, you know, we know that's not the case since she has been a Republican for years. And so I just think people should just let people, be themselves. If that's who she wants to vote for, what is the freaking problem? Yeah, sure, you don't agree with it, but that's okay. We don't agree on a lot of things. But people should be able to make their own, you know, decisions and have their own thoughts. Like, what happened to individuality? That is literally gone out the window now when you think about it. You can't disagree on anything before you're some kind of phobic. It's crazy. Get out of here. Alright, so I want y'all to check out a couple of these clips that I, came up with. Yeah, check out these clips.
So Nicki Minaj saying boys be boys and it's okay to be boys at Amfest, which no lies detected. But let me ask you a question and answer quickly now. When have I ever claimed to be anything other than a boy? Or I guess at my big grown-ass age, a man. Right, and you guys are commenting this. It's so cute, like you did your big one or this is your gotcha moment. The bigger issue here, and I know it's going to go right over a lot of y'all's heads, is that you guys have diminished womanhood to a costume. You see a man in makeup, and you automatically think that I'm trying to be something that I'm not. I know what my biology is. I know that I'm a man. Me putting on makeup does not make me a woman. It simply makes me a man in makeup. So I'm still a boy. The part of her speech that you all should have clipped and taken with you is probably the part that you ignored the most, is where she said we need more thinkers in this country, more free thinkers. It's okay to think for yourself, and we need to encourage that, because you all in thinking, it's like oil and water. They just don't mix. The amount of times I've seen the same comment parroted across multiple videos that are now resurfacing because of recent events at Amfest, it's actually wild. It's like you guys have to be told what to say. Like you have a group meeting, you're told what to spam across TikTok for the day, and if you don't have that meeting, you glitch the fuck out. You guys are also saying that she would hate me, like Nicki Minaj doesn't like me, under a video where she commented and said love you. The willful ignorance is astounding. Oh yeah, it's okay for boys to be boys, and a boy putting on makeup does not make him a girl. You know, pretty simple concept, but it's unfortunately tough for some to understand what she was saying. Nicki said no wrong. We love Nicki over here. I love you guys, and I will see you all in the next one.
Nicki Minaj, Nicki Minaj. My girl just stepped on the stage at Amfest and said the most illegal thing you can say in 2025 without a permission slip from the left. Parents, let your boys be boys. There's nothing wrong with being a boy. Yes. The sun shining on my face with that one. Now, before anyone starts hyperventilating into a reusable tote bag, she didn't say hate anyone, didn't say ban anything. She said boys are boys. Apparently, that's now a 5-alarm emergency. Nicki Minaj, of all people, just did what half of Hollywood is too spineless to do. Speak like a normal human being. One who remembers biology, childhood, and common fucking sense. Oh, they about to lose their shit. I can see the headlines now. Why Nicki's statement is secretly violent. Why masculinity is a gateway drug. Why allowing boys to climb trees is fascism. They're gonna try to cancel her. Lecture her, scold her, and explain her own words to her. Because nothing terrifies them more than a woman who won't read from the approved script. Here's the truth they hate. Letting boys be boys isn't dangerous. What's dangerous is confusing the shit out of kids to satisfy adult politics. So props to Nicki for saying what millions of parents are thinking, but too afraid to say out loud, with no apology, no disclaimer, and no fucking kneeling. Nicki didn't cross the line. She reminded everyone where reality is. And that's why they're about to be screaming. She really do got that super bass.
All right, and next we're going to stay here with the Nicki topic for a little while. I want to talk about Amber Rose and her defending Nicki Minaj. So recently, Amber Rose was out and TMZ caught up with her, and they asked her thoughts on Nicki Minaj's appearance on Turning Point USA. And this is what she had to say. Check out this clip.
Hey, what's up, Am? Happy holidays.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good.
I wanted to ask you, obviously you and Nicki are super close. Can I ask you, what do you make of everything? Her coming out with Erica Kirk yesterday.
I think she did a great job, an amazing job.
I saw you put on Instagram, the Queen has spoken.
Yes,
so
that's right.
You don't think that she should be getting as much backlash as she
No,
is?
she shouldn't. We live in a free country. She has the right to her own political opinion, just like everyone else does.
A lot of people feel like because of her fan base being like largely, LGBTQ, that
She didn't say anything wrong. She didn't say anything about the LGBTQ plus community at all.
right, but her siding, kind of with the Trump administration, or speaking out of there.
Why do people think anybody over there is homophobic? I'm not homophobic. My assistant has been with me for 11 years. He's black and gay. I have a bunch of trans friends. So does Nicki.
Yeah.
I don't know why people twist our words or think because we endorse Trump that we just hate gay people and trans people. It's just not true.
So, when Nicki spoke out a few weeks ago for the Christians in Nigeria,
Yeah.
she said it's not about choosing a side, it's about choosing what's right. So do you feel like that's kind of what's going on in this kind of situation too, by her coming out with Erica and, speaking
What's wrong with talking to Erica? That's what I mean. I just don't get the logic behind why people are upset. Mm-hmm. But shout out to Nicki.
Yeah.
Shout out to TMZ. Thank you.
Shout out to you too, Amber. Thank you. Wait.
So yeah, Amber pretty much basically said the same thing I said. Nicki never said anything wrong. She didn't say anything about the LGBTQ community. Yeah, she should have the right to her own political views. She should be able to pick whoever she wants to pick. Just like you guys are picking who you want to pick. That's that. Alright, moving on. Actually, you know what? Let's stay right here on Nicki Minaj. So, everybody basically, y'all know they've tried to cancel Nicki a million times. And so they try to cancel her for this Turning Point USA situation. But here's the thing. Nicki Minaj turned around and outsold everybody after the Turning Point USA appearance. After being canceled for the billionth time, Nicki Minaj outsold Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B combined on all major streaming platforms in one day. So, let me get this straight. Like, so y'all be like online, like just going in. Y'all be mad, but y'all be low-key listening. Y'all be tweeting, posting all these clips, but y'all really be listening. Because how she outsell two of the other top artists right now, female rap artists. Outsold both of them combined. Make it make sense. And I just seen that she recently got over like 150,000 not dollars, 150,000 followers on Twitter in one day. So, you know, like, I don't know what type of cancellation this is, but yeah, I guess continue to cancel her because it actually seems like she's thriving even the more. So y'all keep doing y'all good work, alright? Canceling a lady for having her own opinion is insane. Anyways, moving on. For real this time. Alright, y'all. So let's talk about Ice Spice and Latto. Ice Spice recently was on an interview and she squashed the beef completely with Latto. Well, they already squashed it. They done made a song, a video, all of the things. But they asked her a question about, you know, how the process was with the video and where they're at. And she just basically said, you know, making the video was phenomenal. Like, they had so much fun that, like, their managers was like, the managers were telling them to, like, wrap it up because they were there for so long and just kicking it. And she was like, it was easy to, like, get over the whole beef because really the beef was never there. And honestly, people already knew that. People was like, they were calling it, like, from the get-go. Like, they both are just, like, getting clout off of it. And that was smart of them, because especially Ice Spice, she was new. She ran that thing down into the ground. And, you know, it kept elevating her, and it kept her name, it kept the buzz around her name. So they both benefited from it, and it was wise. But yeah, basically she just said the beef was never there in the first place. So it was kind of easy to just, you know, get over it. That's a blessing. So check out this clip.
What made you want to squash your beef with Latto to collaborate together on Gyat?
And what was your favorite part of filming the music video together?
Cheers!
Hey, y'all. Can they see me right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm crying. I'm like, wait, is it pre-recorded? What made me want to squash it? It wasn't a real beef to begin with, to be honest. But, like, my favorite part of shooting the video, that's what you said, right?
Yeah.
The whole video was so fun. It was like everybody was just joking around the whole time. To the point where, like, I remember my manager was like, can y'all wrap it up? Like, hurry up.
Yeah, right. Stop playing.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really fun. Shout out to Latto.
All right. Thank you, fans.
All right, so next let's get into this Cardi B situation. So recently, now this looked very strategic, but I don't know if it was or not because it was released by RuPaul's team. Which doesn't say much. So it probably was strategic, but after everything went down with Nicki Minaj, they came out and released the new trailer for the RuPaul show, featuring none other than Barney B. And yeah, it's just been all over the place, and everyone is praising her and saying how she loves the LGBT community, and again, the fake outrage when it comes to Nicki, but just the love and dementia when it comes to Cardi B. Because Cardi has crashed out on the LGBT community several times. Matter of fact, I got a clip. Check out what she just said.
Be a boy. Be a fucking boy.
Boom. Literally the same exact thing Nicki just said. She said, boys, be boys. And Nicki just said boys should be boys. So, you know, and Nicki was talking about from a kid situation, like children. But Cardi was basically speaking to a gay guy that had commented on something about her life. And she went in and said, boys be boys. Now, this was a whole different scenario from what Nicki Minaj, when she said it. Nicki Minaj was speaking about children and how we shouldn't have trans children. Let them be kids and grow up and choose what they want to do. But Cardi B was talking to a grown man who had responded to something on her page, and she told him to be a boy and get out of a girl's situation or a conversation, basically. Go be a man. That's basically what she said. And it just baffles me because everyone they have dementia. Once again, they forget everything that she's done. Drugging and robbing men. No type of backlash. You know what? I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole. We're gonna move on from that. But literally, it's just this whole Nicki thing is just fake outrage, and we the people are sick of it because y'all don't keep the same energy with everybody else, and so it's null and void. But anyway, so that the trailer was released. Cardi B is going to be on the show. And the people were just praising her and saying how she's such an ally. But as you can see, she just literally said the same thing Nicki said. But hers was worse because she was talking to someone who was an adult. And so it just baffles me, y'all. Because y'all got to keep the same energy. You know, those stuff that the backlash y'all give to Nicki, y'all have to give it to Cardi as well. Or anybody else that is doing the same thing. Alright, moving on. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about, and it's going to be real short. I want to just speak about Latto. Basically, she shut down the pregnancy rumors recently by releasing a photo, a Christmas photo. She said, "Merry birthday to me," with a picture of her extremely flat belly. And now there was something kind of in front of it, but it looked like she was her regular self. But she could be trying to trick folk, you know. That's what they do. All the celebrities, they want to come out with their little surprise, you know, pregnancy stuff. So, I don't know. She could still be pregnant, but from the picture, it did kind of look like she was just regular Latto. So, I don't know. We shall see. Anyways, let's get on up out of here. I have been on here for long enough. But yeah, here's the real issue, y'all. The culture doesn't want honesty. It wants compliance. And Onika Tanya doesn't comply. And so, and I just want everybody else to just really think about it. Can we really be honest with our opinions nowadays? Before we're blocked, before we're canceled? Do we all have the right to have our own opinion? I honestly don't know if we have that right anymore. Like, it has been stripped away. And so, to be honest, to see Nicki do that, it made me stand her even more. To go against the grain and just stand on what it is that you're standing on. And to be honest, I am a Christian. And so to hear her talk about, you know, the Christians and her fight for them and all of that stuff, like, it's real. And I think a lot of people think that it's in Nigeria, meaning that it's far away, like the persecution and all that stuff. But that can very well be here in America if we just keep allowing stuff like that to happen around the world. It's like a cancer. It's just going to keep seeping into other areas. And so I admire her for standing up and just saying what she had to say. Yeah. So anyways, y'all, let me get up out of here. Do me a favor. Please like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the page. Remember that everything in this video is alleged and for entertainment purposes. And yeah, I'm going to talk to y'all later. I promise it's going to be sooner than later this time. Talk to y'all soon.